So, battery cut out at some point on me. So, Needles is done. Let's do Iron Mountain. We're going to follow 16A to get there, though. So I was trying to go through my top 10 or so motorcycle roads that I've actually ridden. Iron Mountain's number 1. Number 2, Moonshiner Highway. Moonshiner, I think, is better than the Dragon. Number 3 is Needles. Oh, wait. No, I take it back. Strike that. Start over. Number 1, $1 Million Highway. Number 2, and it's not by a lot, but it's Iron Mountain Road. Number 3 would be Moonshiner. Number 4 would be Needles. Number 5 would be the road that goes through the Grand Staircase in Escalante Monument. I think it's Utah 22, but it might be 24. Where are we at? Number 6, Needles. Right? I don't think I said Needles yet. Number 6, Needles. 7 would be the Dragon. 8, I'm going to say Berthoud. I think Berthoud is better than Loveland. So Berthoud would probably be next. Then Wolf Creek. And rounding out that top 10, I think, would be Loveland. Honorable mentions go to honorable mentions go to Glenwood Canyon. Honorable mentions go to Glenwood Canyon, the San Rafael Swell, and the Arizona Strip. The Arizona Strip, by the way, is probably the most underrated piece of the interstate there is. Yeah, Glenwood Canyon gets a lot of pub, and it should. It's a spectacular stretch of interstate. The Columbia Gorge is a spectacular piece of interstate, especially coming down to the river. When you first get in there, you know, from the when you first get in there, coming from the you know, when you first come in going westbound towards Portland. Oh, too wide. Little wide. But the Arizona Strip never gets any mention, and I don't know why. It's a spectacular piece. And for being, you know, for being pretty much the only way to get from you know, southern Utah to Vegas and LA and whatnot. You know, when I say southern, I mean basically all the parks, you have to end up on it. I mean, unless you're going to go down to Flagstaff first. Unless you're going to go down to Flagstaff first. But it's a spectacular piece. Nice curves. A nice elevation change. You go from probably, I think, about 4,000 feet around St. George. In the course of 20 miles, you're down to probably about, by the time you get to Mesquite, you're down at the, probably would be 2,000 feet. Over the course of 20 miles, you drop 2,000 feet. So for not being a mountain pass, that's a significant elevation change. mean, don't get me wrong, Glenwood Canyon is spectacular. It's a little better going eastbound than it is westbound just because you're lower in the canyon. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, westbound is good too. I mean, if you've got the time to do it, I'd do it both directions. You know, if you're going, you know, yeah, you'll be doing it, well, one way twice probably. But yeah, do it both. You know, turn around in Glenwood Springs and then turn around at Dotsero, which is where which was where the old railroad line split based on which way they were going across the Rocky Mountains. I had to laugh at somebody in the Forest River Forum this morning was talking about, well, leaks happen. Yeah, leaks happen. They shouldn't happen in the plumbing. Not the plumbing. You know, leaks from outside is one thing. This is not coming from outside. This is clearly a plumbing leak. Iron Mountain Road. But next year, two things I know. One of two things I know. Number one, I'm not staying on a 40-foot site in the South 40. I'm either going to get a pull through or do something at one of the 50-foot long sites like at Red Barn or something like that. A little bit more room. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the bees. Oh, that's a park ranger. That's a park ranger. So spending wise while I was here, I'm just doing the math in my head real quick. I spent $400 and change on the air cleaner. I spent actually got it set up right here. Yep, they got it set up good here. So I said it's $400 on that. I spent, I only really had one expensive meal, and that was at Powder House. Other than that, everything's been, you know, $20 at most. You know, I spent $20 at the school twice. Yeah, I spent $20 on, you know, burger and fries at the Chip, a few other things. Nothing was really, I didn't really spend that much. You know, gas is what it is. I probably spent about $400 on gas. I really only had one long distance day, and that was yesterday going to Bighorn. I'm going to say this: if you're here and have never done, or it's been a long time since you've gone to Little Bighorn, and you're a history buff. If you're not a history buff, hey, you know, I'm not saying it's something you need to do every year, but maybe every other year or every third year. Maybe you separate between going to, say, the Badlands, and then you go there. You know, maybe one year you go to the Badlands, the next year you go to you go to Little Bighorn. I mean, it's a full day ride. You're going to be about 500 miles of riding. You know, you can go by Devil's Tower if you want to do that. Still going? I think so. I think it's still going. But it sucks, this being the last day, and then we gotta, you know, that's kind of cool. Got that in with like a military police with an army style coloring. But next year, two things I know. Number one, either A, I'm not staying at the chip at all, or number two, if I stay at the chip, it's going to be in a different area. It's either going to be, I might stay in the South 40 again, but it would be a pull-through, or I'm going to stay, you know, at one of the like 50-foot long sites. You know, one of the ones that are just north of Alkali, you know, between Alkali Road and 34. You know, one of them. I really would have liked to get possibly would have been a set of handguards. That's it. That's really it. That's the only thing I really would have liked to add. And then maybe actually the Dotsero mirror mount. You know, the Dotsero mirror mounted. Yeah, I didn't even ask the Advent 10 about the Reaper for a Softail. My guess is you could probably completely wire it. As a tourist, why you would be up here at this time of year if you're not on a motorcycle. I gotta laugh. I got a text message from Lazy Days in Denver. not Burns Harbor. Denver. Okay, neutral, please. There you are. All right, let's get up Iron Mountain. Glasses on my face. They're coming in. You're clear. Clear, clear. All right, Iron Mountain road time. Iron Mountain road time. About an hour, I think. I can't see my phone right now because it's just all smudged. Why do you want me to go that way? I don't want to go that way. Are you trying to route me back up Needles? I don't want to go up Needles. Flying, and I'm doing probably 25, 30 at most. They look like they were probably going about 40, 45. See Mount Rushmore, but an hour and a half, so yep. So it's probably going to be a little bit slower taking this, and the county road, it was a little more direct, I guess, maybe not as much, but you know what, like I said, as long as I'm back by 12:30, I'm okay. Illinois plate, yeah, it's a tunnel. Okay. There's Mount Rushmore. Boom. That was a little louder than I wanted it to be. think the Dragon has any switchbacks. I think it's just a lot of, you know, curves. And Berthoud, while it's got switchbacks, they're not as tight as this. Why are you taking a bus up here? Yeah, if you're driving a bus up here, you're kind of crazy. The Wax Museum. I just think the gas situation in Keystone, in Rapid, will be a little less crazy than here in Keystone. And on top of that, I'm still at 3/4 of a tank. I mean, I really don't even need gas, but it's kind of that whole, well, you're gonna want to swap batteries because you don't want to get the last arrival to the ship of the rally. Helicopter. Swayze. Oh, they're going to Hill City Road. Well, I did that right. Not. You're not gonna go. Why did you not flip and go? Oh, boneheads. Boneheads. Go. Thank you. Like I said, I'll still be there by 12:30 local, which is fine. There's the powder house. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock, so you can get breakfast or lunch at this point. Holy smokes. Yeah, road work begins just after the rally, because that's when they should do road work. I don't know if I'm still recording or not, because I don't know. North President's Lodge. Okay. Yeah, that's probably a $350 a night hotel. My guess is it's probably going to be about, you know, $350, $400. City or Rapid City? Well, we want to go to Rapid because as we're heading back to the chip so I can load her up. I can load her up. I wonder where that backup is. Is it in Rapid proper? That's probably what, a 10-minute delay? Yeah, I forgot to buy lottery tickets last night. I heard one person hit that $1.5 billion jackpot. One person. I guess that's the way it goes, eh? Okay. Alright, let's get back to the chip. Let us get back to the chip and get loaded and get out of here because, yeah, it's a sad day. It's out of here day. It's out of here day because it's a getaway day. I mean, I could have waited till tomorrow, but I kind of had to be back by about 2 anyway. And the problem you run into at the chip is because they don't let four-wheel, cars, because they don't let cars go around the campground until, I think they say dawn technically, but it's like, If I can make it to Mitchell, I can make it home tomorrow. If I can make it to Rapid, it's easy to get home tomorrow. Well, I won't say easy. It's still, either way, it's still between 10 and 12 hours of behind the wheel time. So it's not exactly, I'm not going to use the word easy, but it's not the most difficult thing in the world to make a 12-hour driving day. And like I said, to get to Sioux Falls should be right around 5 hours, 5.5 hours, something like that. Gillette and Sioux Falls. I don't know what else you sign. I mean, Billings is kind of weird, but probably would be the best option. Yeah, I mean, Spearfish isn't big enough. Sturgis isn't big enough, although tourism-wise, it wouldn't be the worst. Yeah, Gillette is probably... Casper, you wouldn't be going this way. You'd be going down 14. Yeah, you'd be going down 16 to get to Casper. So, right, 14, 16. 16. Yeah, you'd be going to 16 to get to Casper. So, yeah, I mean, Gillette's probably the best you can do. Falls is definitely the right choice. I mean, if you wanted to add, say, Pierre or something like that as a secondary, I'd be okay with that. Because that's where US 16 is going, is to Pierre. Actually, I'm going to say one thing to South Dakota Parks Department, or whoever runs their state park system. Just kudos for having it just be $20. You don't, because at 20 you don't really have to worry about change all that much. I mean, you really don't. At 25, then you start having to deal with change. Pass by it. We're not going to stop at Rally at X55 because, yeah, you got to get loaded. You got to get loaded and rolling.